We are proud to stand with Rick Dollinger to fight for health services and education. He has earned our trust, and we are proud to endorse his candidacy for New York State Senate.
First of all, I'm thrilled to have the endorsement of this organization, and I'm truly proud to be here as an advocate for women's health. This is the 21st century. We fought a lot of battles in the 20th century that don't deserve to be repeated. One of them I just want to talk about briefly, and that is a man named George Michaels, who you may remember. George Michaels was a New York State Assemblyman, and when the question arose in the State Assembly about legalizing abortion in New York, he represented a largely Catholic community in central New York, a conservative, Republican Catholic community. But he knew that illegal abortions put women's lives at risk. He knew that women weren't getting the health care that they needed, that they didn't have the right of privacy to be able to make decisions with their health care providers about a whole host of health care issues, including, in certain circumstances, the right to choose abortion. The New York State Assembly considered a bill to legalize abortion in New York. And when they finally tallied up the score on the day of the vote, it was a dead tie. George Michaels had voted against the bill. He stood up and he asked to change his vote because he concluded that it was so important to women's health to make sure that the right to privacy had real meaning in New York. When he stood up and changed his vote, he said, "I am probably ending my political career. I will never be able to run and win an election again." But he said that a woman's right to choose her own health care and make decisions about her privacy and her life was more important than his political career. 3 years later, Roe against Wade gave that same right to every woman in this country. I remember him today because he's proof that what you believe is truly important. And if you believe, as George Michaels believed, that women not only have a right to privacy, but they have a right to make up their own minds about these critical issues, but you also believe that government should have no role in that decision, that's the courage that's necessary. That's the courage that makes New York different. And I would suggest today that as we remember George Michaels, we don't forget that the right that he voted for, the right enshrined in Roe against Wade, is in danger. A change in the nature of the United States Supreme Court could endanger the right to privacy that underlies Roe against Wade. That's why New York needs to stand up, as George Michaels once did, and say, with a single, unified voice, we support a woman's right to choose. We will put it in law. We will make sure that no matter what the Supreme Court does, that right is not forfeited in New York. I stand here today to tell you, you have my vote, you have my voice, you have my commitment, and every ounce of my advocacy skills to make sure that that happens right here in New York.